Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Nvidia daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Nvidia. Let's talk about what is happening to Nvidia, what we can expect moving forward, and all that good stuff. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But again, of course, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc., guys, again, I share my thoughts with my members every single day as the market is open, including, again, days like today, where I even told my members how I expect SPY, when it was pretty much near the low of the day, to start getting ready to bottom out and most likely get a bounce as it is now getting very, very oversold. And that's exactly what happened. Even outlined my path, you can see here 6 hours ago. And then, of course, what happened with SPY after that? Well, we all know pretty much just a few hours after that, where the market looked something like this. And I mentioned there, I'm like, guys, this is probably where we start getting a rejection around 666, 665. And what do we get a rejection at? Pretty much right around there. So, hey, pretty good if I do say so myself, not to pat my own, my own back. But again, the point I'm just trying to say is if you're interested in these kind of updates, again, throughout the trading day, guys, as this trading, check out the membership section on YouTube. Join up if you wish. It's in the description below. For just $3 a month, you get access to all my Tesla updates, broader market updates, different time frame analysis, options flow, etc. Tier 2 includes Nvidia as well. If you're interested for just $5 USD a month, Tier 1 is of course only $3 USD a month. That's all it is, man. I think it's very worth it personally, but make your own conclusions, of course. $7 USD for just the tier 3, includes the whole package, right? You also get access to any of my tier 3 posts when there's stocks setting up nicely, if something worth sharing or chart worth sharing. Access to the private Discord as well. We have a private chat room for tier 3 members. And every single Sunday, I do chart reviews and requests that the members request, essentially. So again, love to have you there. But Nvidia, again, nice and simple video. Tomorrow is the big day. I'm not going to make it too complicated. As usual, we're going to keep it as simple as possible. But let's talk about the daily first. Now, again, take everything today with a grain of salt. Tomorrow is a huge day. Earnings, how the stock is going to react. Let's take a quick peek, actually, at how the stock is expected to react. Let me go ahead and go over here and take a look at Nvidia. What is the current expected move? But while that loads, we are showing bearish pressure here, right? Absolutely. Now, again, when I say bearish pressure, yes, technically, it is looking bad. The chart is not looking good, I'll be honest. It's starting to lose key levels. We're losing the mid 180s. It's not great. We're losing the 50 EMA now as support, kind of like what we did here. So if the bulls can't step in fast, then that'll be a problem, getting that bearish crossover. We're pretty much right around here. Now, whether or not it plays out like this is a whole different question. But again, we have earnings tomorrow. So anything can happen. I'm not going to try to predict earnings. But strictly off of today's closure, it's not looking amazing, right? It's definitely not looking the best by any means whatsoever. So, worst case scenario, I would expect Nvidia to make its way back down to about the, closer to the 170-ish region, just off of today's close alone. But again, I can't stress this enough. Earnings is tomorrow after hours. Complete game changer. It can completely invalidate this or that or this. Technicals cannot predict earnings. Speaking of earnings, the current expectations for earnings is about a 7.5% move, which is essentially about as high as 195 or about as low as 168, which is actually pretty close to my 170 target. I do think if Nvidia comes to 170, I do think that it'll bounce off of this area up here and most likely get a rebound back to about 180, and then we'll have to reassess. But at that point, there's a good chance things are not looking too hot, to be completely honest, as there will be some pretty significant technical damage to the chart. But again, let's see. Maybe it rallies. We don't know. We simply just do not know how earnings is going to go, how good or bad the earnings themselves are going to be, how the market reacts to it. We are selling off into it. Is that bullish? Maybe we're pricing in a maybe not so great earnings. Again, I don't know, right? I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm not. But what I do know is the fact that we have not yet broken this damn trend line. This is the trend line that, if you have the patience for it, guys, if you're not just jumping up and down for, trades and just like trying to get a dopamine rush, trying to enter a trade like this, oh my God, I got to enter some trade today. Holy shit. If you just waited, patience, just, letting the trade come to you, giving you that sort of, a go signal, if you will. You've been avoiding pretty much all this pain on Nvidia. This thing has just been consistently gapping down and essentially just heading lower and lower and lower and lower, right? It's just been weakness after weakness after weakness after weakness. So if you're patient enough to wait for a break of this trend line, which we have never got yet, but as a result, you've also avoided the pain, which is good. Not losing money is almost as good as making money. You know what I mean? Because, the worst case scenario is you just keep entering, trying to catch the bottom just to get stopped out, right? When instead, you just wait, let the trend line break, let the trend shift, let some bullish momentum show up, and then ride the wave. But again, we haven't broken this trend line, guys. We need to break this trend line. At this point, tomorrow is pretty much the last day before earnings, of course. So whether or not we get that trend line break and rally into earnings tomorrow or not, I don't know. But if it were to happen tomorrow, at this point, honestly, even a break above 186/187 would be enough to get at least some level of a rally, maybe back to 190 now. But again, tomorrow is the big day. So let's see. Maybe we get a bit of a juicy pop tomorrow. Maybe we don't. Let's see. But ultimately, that's kind of the level to break right now, in my opinion. About sort of, 185, 186. give or take, of course, up to as high as 190 would be the target if it breaks. So you get a quick $3-4 move, which isn't too bad, But yeah, that's, again, simply put, guys, that's just the way I'm looking at it. I'm not going to dive too much deeper into the technicals here today and even tomorrow because, again, earnings is literally tomorrow. So let's just see how it goes, right? Let's see how it goes. In terms of the actual options flow on NVIDIA, actually more bears than bulls today. 50 million bearish flow, 46 million bullish flow. So the bears are definitely stepping in overall. Some nice bearish flow towards the morning as well. So the bears are, they're trying to come in here, guys. They're trying to come in here, but whether or not they can steal the deal and really kind of change the trend for NVIDIA here, well, that's the question, right? That's the $1 million question. So let's see if they can do that, guys. Tomorrow, like I said, is the big day. And this is why I've been mainly focusing on the 1 hour time frame, because this is the only thing that will give me that go signal for potential rally into earnings, which we have yet to see. But hey, sometimes the trade just doesn't, it doesn't trigger. And that's fine, right? Sometimes the trade doesn't trigger, and that's fine. Trust me, better to just sit on your hands and do nothing than to have been trying to catch this knife over and over just to get stopped out over and over and over, right? I've done it. You've done it. Everyone has done it. Everyone knows this mistake. Everyone does this mistake. It's a very common and very easy mistake to make. But some patience, like I said, has been very rewarding here, hasn't it? But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Very quick video. Don't want to go too much over other things. If you want updates on SPY, for instance, right? I did go that in my Tesla video. So check out the Tesla video if you're interested in the broader market updates. But yeah, tomorrow's a big day. Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Peace.